Welcome back.
So, this was going to be season 6 of the Failing Writers podcast, but we've had to change the name.
Yep, this is now the Rather Successful Writers podcast.
Because we've both had some news, haven't we, Tom?
So my kids' book that I hadn't really finished at all somehow got picked up by a massive publisher.
How did that happen?
They just heard it on the podcast, John, and then asked me for a full manuscript and then just threw a suitcase of cash at me, like a massive suitcase of cash.
What?
Yeah.
That is actually amazing. So what you're saying is no hard work on your part.
No,
just cash.
Literally just fell into my lap. So yeah.
Wow.
What about you, mate? Any news?
Well, do you remember I lost my laptop on the train?
Oh God, yeah, a nightmare. What a disaster.
Well, not really,
Huh?
because the person who found it was a Netflix executive desperate to find the next police procedural, and they read my novel on my laptop.
Uh-huh.
Now it's getting adapted for TV before the novel even comes out.
That's amazing.
That's nuts.
Sorry, and did that include like loads of money as well?
Like stupid amounts. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Incredible.
That is amazing. We're so successful.
Very successful.
Very successful.
Tom.
We're
going to start the podcast?
What's happening?
Welcome to Season 6 of the Failing Writers podcast.
Are we still the failing writers?
Yeah, unless you've had some news.
I haven't had any news, mate. Did you leave your laptop on a train?
No, why?
No news then, is it? Carry on.
Excuse me, have you both
yep.
finished? This is the intro. It's my bit, not yours.
Sorry.
Go on, shoo. Over there, getting ready to say.
Hello and welcome to the Failing Writers podcast.
Hang on, we don't sound like that.
Is that going to be me? Hello, welcome to the Failing Writers podcast.
Yeah, you see, she sounded nothing like you at all.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely
nothing. At all.
Yes, the Failing Writers podcast. We are back. We are a community of writers who take writing seriously.
But not necessarily taking ourselves seriously at the same time.
Exactly. Best way of describing the show, I reckon, is that we are on a journey of literary discovery, kind of bringing you lot along with us.
Yeah, learning about things that are hopefully really useful. So practical ideas to do with your writing, like how to pitch your book to agents or how to write a blurb. People hate writing blurbs, don't they? That's like
They do.
I can write a massive
It's an art form.
120,000 long fantasy thing with all that. Oh no, not a blurb. Anything but a blurb. But yeah, anything like that. How to become an internet poetry sensation. We're not guaranteeing these things, by the way.
No.
These are just things that we will touch on. Yeah.
But also, Tommy, things that maybe aren't all that useful, but are really, really fascinating.
Many people would say that's our forte.
Really
that's
is.
where we really come into our own.
Things like, what is a tet besh?
What is a tet besh?
Well, I'm not telling you now, am I?
All right.
What are the weirdest things about Jane Austen's legacy?
What are the weirdest things about Jane Austen's legacy?
Stop it.
What?
And what happens when you take a peek through the window of the wonderful world of fan fiction as well?
Oh.
All coming up on this series.
Whoever you are, if you want to become a better, more rounded writer, you could do a lot worse than hitting that follow button right now and becoming an honorary member of the Failing Writer community. Come embrace it. Go on, don't be shy.
Exactly. It's like a beautiful, warm bath of writing support, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but we don't ask why the water's warm,
No,
do we?
that's probably best. Yeah.
No.
But look, we do see this podcast as a community, and we love it when you lot get involved. And on that note, we are bringing back our HYPEWRITER feature, aren't we, Tommy?
We are.
Where we show
love this.
your work a bit of love. So yeah, if you've got a novel you want to shift a few more copies of, and maybe it's got a great opener, you could send that to us.
Yeah, or maybe it's a little bit of poetry that needs a big up that's not found a home, or you've sent it somewhere and it's not got mentioned, but you love it. Send us that.
Yeah.
Love a bit of poetry.
Or some flash fiction, or the start of a great short story, something like that.
It can literally be anything that you've written that you think has got something about it that you just want to share. And we're interested. We want to have a look at it. We love having a little delve into these things.
We really do. So, yeah, send it as a doc, or even, if you're feeling brave, send it as a sound file to failingwriterspodcast@gmail.com, and it could feature in this series of the podcast. So, Thomas, that's taken care of the admin. Now we should get down to brass tacks.
Oh, the accountability. Part of the reason this podcast started was accountability, wasn't it, for us?
Yes.
So we couldn't just go, oh, yeah, I'll probably do some writing in the future.
Yeah.
That we actually had to do things, because we used to ask, didn't we, each week, what have you been writing?
Yeah, that got a little bit tedious for our listeners, to be fair. And our listeners might have to accommodate a tiny bit of self-indulgence here. But to kind of kick off this season, we thought it would be kind of remiss not to catch up on what we've been working on over the last year. Because we haven't really talked about it, have we, Tom? Like whether we've actually stuck to our goals or not.
No, we haven't. Speaking of accountability, in an episode last year, towards the start of the season, we set out our goals for the year to achieve.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. I mean, I can literally play it to you right now if you want.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get to that in a minute because it'll be interesting. Before we get there, I was just going to ask you, where do you actually stand on goal setting, Tommy? Are you generally in favour?
I think it's an absolute necessity.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it is. But for me personally, otherwise time just floats on and nothing really gets done.
Yeah.
I was brought up on deadlines.
Yes, that's true.
Through school, it's deadlines. University, deadlines. Working in advertising. Deadlines.
Yeah.
And then being in control of those yourself. If you don't make any, it's just,
So you're a deadline stick-to-er. You don't just move the deadline.
No, not really. No.
If you set an arbitrary deadline, you will hit it, will you?
Yeah. I think that's generally the case. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too. As long as I remember what my goal actually was.
Well, yeah, that's the problem we've got, isn't it?
Possibly. Okay. Hey, should we start with you, Tom? Just remind us of what your goals were, because I, like I say, I can't really remember what we said.
Well, I kept mine pretty simple.
Well done.
I think you'll hear when you listen to yours. That's the smart thing to do, John, rather than just wandering off and promising all these different things.
Have I really done that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see how many of them you actually remembered and done, or just done by mistake because they were in your subconscious somewhere. Yeah, no, I for all kinds of different reasons, I had quite a tough year of being able to get down to stuff. So I just wanted to kind of get myself back into the flow, in my view. So all I did was, the year before, as part of my deadlines, I said I was going to enter 5 different writing competitions with different pieces. So not just writing one thing and then sending it to 5 things.
That sounds good. That sounds manageable.
Good shortcut. But
achievable.
This year, last year rather. So for 2025, I said I was going to do 10.
Ah, okay. You're upping it a bit.
So short stories, poems, flash, that kind of thing. So it was a proper old mix-up of stuff. So yeah, that's what I said I would do.
And big reveal, presumably you've done it.
I have indeed done it. I have done it.
You deadline hitter, you.
Deadline hitter, stroke deadline surfer.
Were they all done on the last day of December?
No. I got quite a lot of them done, and then I got quite a lot of them done quite quickly. And thought, then I got in that awful bit where you go, well,
I'm way ahead of myself.
This is a little bit. I am so ahead of myself. I'll probably just chill out for a bit. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's bloody December, isn't it? And I don't know if you remember our competition last year, but it did get a little bit Bernie McQuillan at the end.
Yeah.
And I had this piece, and I suddenly remembered, and this was on New Year's Eve, when we had people around, and I suddenly said, oh, God, I just need to go and do something.
Are you being serious?
This was like 9 o'clock at night, and I'd completely forgotten to say, I'd finished this bit, I'd pretty much finished this little story, and I thought, I need to send this somewhere. So I was searching around for places to send it, and then managed to do that, yes, only hours before the end of the year.
Bloody hell, well done, Tommy.
Well, it's before the deadline, though, technically, isn't it? Before the deadline.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very good.
So it wasn't an astoundingly huge, it wasn't some massive, long list of things to achieve, John. No. As I said, it'd be stupid to do that.
No, but it's still very good. 10 things, that's double the year before.
Yeah, and I think it did the job as well. It kind of got me back in the groove a little bit. So
that's good. Have you touched anything else? You haven't touched the 2 middle grade stories. They're still on the shelf.
No, I've been tinkering around with those, with one in particular. So yeah, that's like I said, it kind of helped.
Very good. That wasn't even a goal.
Help loosen things up.
Beautiful. Well done, mate. I haven't done a great deal of writing, really, if I'm being totally honest.
Right.
But yeah, as I say, I can't really remember what the goals were. I didn't actually write my goals down.
Yeah, well, I think that's goal reaching 101, that, isn't it?
Kind of is, yeah.
Actually recording what you've said you're going to do.
Yeah, they probably should go on the wall, shouldn't they, or something, on the fridge. Yeah. But I genuinely have no idea what they were.
Well, that's where we're lucky, isn't it, that I keep every single back episode of our podcast on C90 audio cassettes.
That's great, isn't it?
So, that's the one, pop it in there. Just find the right spot, and here we go.
So I've got 4 quite big key objectives. So I'm in the process of sending the crime novel to agents in chunks. So it's gone to 16 agents so far without so much as a sniff.
Right.
But my goal is to get 50 rejections by the end of the year.
Okay.
I want 50 rejections or I won't be happy. Secondly, I want to write another 2 short love stories by the end of the year. I want to do 3 flash fiction pieces also by the end of the year and send them out somewhere.
Right.
Each one.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, that was the last. My thought was to send all 5 of those pieces, the 2 short love stories and the 3 flash fiction pieces, to at least 2 competitions or publications or lit mags or whatever each.
Right. Okay.
So that's another plan. This is quite a lot now I'm thinking about it. But the big one, I'm going to commit to performing the play somewhere before the end of the year.
You just kept going, didn't you? You wouldn't leave it like a...
What was I thinking?
I'm thinking, oh, that's quite a big one. Oh, he's still going. He's got more.
I don't know what I was thinking there. Look, I admit I didn't stick to those goals.
Well, come on, talk us through what have you done, what have you not done?
Can I just say in my defence?
No, no, you can't really. Talk us through what you've done and what you haven't done.
In my defence, right, I did actually write down some other goals fairly early on in the year. So let me tell you a little story. I went to my local writing group, which is run by our flash fiction competition judge from a couple of years ago, the lovely Emily Devane, who had a brilliant idea, which I thought actually we could maybe nick. But she got everyone to write down their goals on some old postcards, which we put into self-addressed envelopes. And then
you put them all into a big bowl and then picked out someone else's, and then that was your goal.
Their goals. No, so I think it was 6 months later, she sent them to us in the post to remind us what they were and check if we'd achieved them.
Wow.
So it was really nice. We got these postcards coming through the post.
To be honest, with the state of the postal system, if you just put a second-class stamp on and posted it now,
it would do the job.
You'd probably get it in 6 months.
So here's the thing. I was going off those goals, not the stupid, unrealistic ones that I mentioned in the podcast. They were clearly just stupid. Clearly, I'd just been drinking or something when I wrote those.
So you just ignore it?
I think so, because, I mean, look, they're close. They're more achievable and closer. But do you want to...
Oh, my... God, this is so pathetic, John. This really is. I've heard some getting out of what I've committed to speeches in all my time, but this is just...
I think it's quite a good excuse. So do you want to hear what I wrote on my postcard? Hang on.
I mean, for what it's worth, who cares about goals?
Oh, this is so much better. Hello, future John. Hope you're well. So this is a little checkup just to make sure you're on with your writing goals. I really hope you finished the first draft of your collaboration with Katie. Maybe you've even redrafted by now. You see how lovely and vague I'm being? And I know your book is now in the hands of several agents. Well, that's very exciting.
50 agents.
Well, I wasn't specific. I wasn't specific on this.
All right, that was just after. That was, you're right, okay.
Well, that's very exciting, isn't it? I strongly suspect... you've only had rejection.
My man, God, you've just hedging all of this.
Yeah. I strongly suspect you've only had rejections. See, that's quite good, isn't it? I'm almost like a prophet there.
Yeah. That's an easy call.
What's nice is I put, but hey, John, rejections are good.
That's being kind to your future self. I always say that when I'm trying to get the kids to do something that will benefit them in the future. Be kind to your future self.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Onwards, I've put. Get another piece of flash out there. That's something nice to keep you going.
An entire single piece of flash?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
One piece of flash.
Yeah.
And so actually
you're counting the postcard as that. That was, the postcard qualifies as a short story now. So you've done that. Is that what you're thinking?
Piece of flash. No, but that was kind of what I was going off. I had that on my desk and I was like, all right, so that's my goals.
All right, okay, yeah.
Conveniently forgotten about the other ones. So, but I've done those. Not only have I done those, Katie and I have already performed, as you well know, Tommy, because you came to see us.
Disappointingly, though, not before the end of the year, which was your stated goal, wasn't it?
It was, but no, not on this postcard. It wasn't.
That's another miss. Yeah, go on.
On the postcard. The postcard just says I need to have redrafted it, but it was all done. Anyway, it was January. Was close enough.
It was close enough. I think there's that thing as well. You set deadlines, but they're not there to destroy you. They're there to help you. So originally you'd said years ago that you want to do it before you hit your 50th
Yeah.
birthday, which obviously you missed, but that doesn't in any way lessen the achievement of the fact that you have written and put on what was a brilliant play.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
No, but just because you didn't hit that, what was an arbitrary deadline.
No, exactly. And actually, an arbitrary deadline helped us get there.
Exactly,
Otherwise,
exactly.
it would have been when we were 60.
So there is
So-
a balance, isn't there? There is a balance between hitting those deadlines.
Yeah.
And there is a time when, yes, you do need to excuse yourself from the New Year's Eve party that you're at to pop upstairs and send off your thing. But at some points, it doesn't really matter because I've made this
Yeah,
up, but it has helped me
exactly.
move along.
Yes, nicely
So
put.
your play is a great example of that, I think, of how we should treat deadlines.
Yeah, that's right. I also think, and maybe I'm being a little bit too, goosey-loosey, but I also think deadlines and goals, they're sort of there to be changed as well, because things change during the year, don't they?
Yeah.
Like as you go along. So one of my goals was to finish one of my love stories, another love story, but that's sort of turned into something else now. So I think it might be a novel, and that's sort of taken on its own thing, and I've written quite a lot of that. So yeah, that goal's just completely changed now. It's not going to be a short story, and obviously that's going to take a lot longer.
Yeah.
So you can't count it as the same thing. So I think if you're being kind of kind to yourself, you've got to have a little bit of flexibility built in, haven't you?
I mean, the thing is, because you've done your play, as in literally done it and performed it, you're going to feel like you've hit all your targets anyway, because that was a huge thing, and a
Yeah.
huge amount of effort and time and sorting out venues
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's stuff you don't think about when you're actually just writing it.
It's very easy, as we discovered in that podcast where you stated your so-called goals. It is very easy just to go, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and do this.
Yeah.
And that's what they say, though, isn't it, about you've got to make them achievable and realistic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a goal or a target. It's just a pipe dream and unachievable. You will end up failing and feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
So like the 50 agents. How many did we get to?
What am I on? Like 35 or
So
something?
not a million miles away.
No.
So yeah.
Not a million miles away. But also, I now have decided to rewrite the entire thing. It's kind of trapped in 2024.
Right, okay, meaning because it mentions sort of political stuff and things,
Yeah.
and that kind of just dates it a little bit in terms
Exactly. And I've thought of a way of bringing it up to date.
Okay.
So I kind of need to do that before it goes out to more
Yeah,
agents. So
yeah.
that's sort of my priority. Another example of, a goal kind of changing.
of. Yeah.
So I've already got new targets for the year. We should
Right.
talk about new targets.
Before we talk about that, let's just have a little, while we're just focusing on ourselves, quite sort of egotistically, let's share some of our work
Let's do that.
that either did or didn't do well in our entering of competitions and such like.
So Tommy, do you want to kick us off by telling us if you actually achieved like any sort of long lists or short lists, or did you maybe even won a competition? You just haven't told me yet. You've been holding it back all this time for the big reveal. Tell us, Tommy.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, John, because no, I haven't been holding anything back. I don't think I would have been able to. I did get one thing published, if you like, on an internet site on the interwebs.
Amazing.
Called Paragraph Planet.
Paragraph.
Which obviously you know about because we actually had a chat to the guy who runs it. Not before I got accepted on it. This was after. There was no untoward. I wasn't influencing him or anything like that. Didn't say, let me on your website. I'll let you come on the podcast. None of that went on.
I can vouch for that.
But it is a really interesting thing. So it's this website where he publishes a little flash fiction story every day, and it has to be 75 words long. Not 74, not 100, exactly 75.
Exactly
75 words long. And they can be anything, literally about anything. They're just like these little proper flash fiction stuff, which I don't know how I came about it really, but I just thought, wow, what a cool idea. It's been going since 2008, by the way. Every day there's been a story on there.
That's nuts.
Mental.
Wow. I'm guessing, Tom, that hitting that 75 words exactly wasn't too difficult considering, your training.
It wasn't. It's pretty much exactly the length you would expect a 40-second radio ad to be.
Yeah.
No, it's funny actually. When I wrote it, it did actually just come out at 75 words.
Oh, really?
And when I sent it, I didn't realise it had to be exactly 75 words. I thought it was just like a 75-word limit. I didn't realise until after I'd sent it that I am a genius. But yeah, as it turns out, in terms of word count, I am. Anyway, do you want to hear it?
I'd love to hear it.
So it's just based on a random idea. This was, sorry, I should say, speaking about it being New Year, this was one of the ones I sent in towards the end of the deadline.
Right.
And I was thinking about New Year and about people going back to work and stuff and how it's just like, ugh, after you've been off for like 2.5 weeks or whatever, being back in an office is just like, ugh. That was kind of the idea. His first day back at work, he'd spent quite a while considering whether ancient people had made the trumpet sound with their mouths before trumpets were invented. Trumpets must have been invented to recreate the sound of making a trumpet sound with your mouth, because the other rather far-fetched possibility was that no one had ever made a trumpet sound with their mouth before the instrument's invention. And now, he'd missed most of the meeting. Again.
It's lovely, that.
A little observation,
It's
John.
very nice. A little flash piece about ADHD.
Possibly, yeah. Of just sitting there going... Although I think it is a very valid point.
It's a really valid...
Did cavemen just walk around going...
Yeah.
when they entered a cave? Like as a little fanfare? And then the invented trumpets after that?
If only we could make that noise, but louder, and yeah.
Anyway.
It's such a lovely idea, that, Tommy.
It's one of those, isn't it, where I'd like to say there was some really deeper meaning about human development and the way that we integrate ourselves with the environment around us. But it's not. It's just about someone sat in a meeting being bored thinking about trumpet noises.
But all the better for that.
Anyway, speaking about Paragraph Planet, let's have a listen to the chat we had with Richard, who runs it all. Richard, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the Failing Writers podcast.
Thank you.
So you are the brain behind paragraphplanet.com.
Brain behind. I've not heard that phrase before, but yeah, I did it. I made it, and I carried.
I'm guilty. It was me, Your Honour.
I've carried on doing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 18 years it's been going. So
I was going to say
Your Honour,
because and do you know what? There's something about it. And this is a compliment. It looks like an old corner of the internet.
Right.
Back in the days when the internet was good and you could go on there and you could surf the internet and discover new little things and what have you. It's got that vibe to it. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, well, I think probably part of that is semi-deliberate and part of that is accidental evolution, I suppose, or lack of evolution.
Right, yeah.
I think when I started it, I was sort of trying to teach myself HTML. So that's probably where that sort of look comes from, because it's sort of old cut and pasted code from a bit of an amateur. And then after about a year and a half of doing that, I sort of didn't really, a lot of it hasn't changed an awful lot in terms of the coding. So it probably needs a bit of an update. But
if it's not broke and all that business.
Yeah, we like it. We like it.
So quickly explain to people what it is.
Okay, so it's a flash fiction website, and what it does is it publishes one piece of 75-word writing. So that might be a short story, or it might be a little novel extract, and it sticks it on the homepage. So it's always prominent when people visit the site. It's been going 18 years, so there's been a lot of different paragraphs and stories and authors over the years. I obviously select some to go on every day, and there's a lot of cut and pasting involved. But I think it's quite a nice thing for writers to see their work on the internet be published. It's quite a quick turnaround normally of stories. And there's also been, over the years, there's been sort of authors who've then gone on to be published novelists, or there's people who've helped publicise their novels. And so it's a real mixture of kind of very much dabblers or aspiring writers or published novelists, really.
Again, that's part of its charm, isn't it? That goes back to what I was saying about that kind of old early internet feel of it kind of being really accessible.
Yeah, thank you.
Who do you think your most famous contributor has been?
Louise Candlish has been on there. So she's written quite a few bestsellers recently. Ellie Griffiths has contributed in the past. Judy Astley, very much in the early days. So there's probably other names I've definitely forgotten, but quite a few writers, yeah.
It's nice though, isn't it? It's nice that people go on and do other things. Why 75 words? Have you just got a really short attention span?
I think, yeah. I think basically, yeah. I think I started, when I started writing it, it was actually, I sort of had a tagline about objects and memories, and it was quite a small, very small scale thing of just trying to write a small little piece of writing and I started off with 100 words as my idea, and I did find I was writing these sort of pieces partly just to test the code and partly just to test the website, and I was sort of running out of steam, really, which, you know, is pretty pathetic at the idea of at that sort of stage. And it felt like it settled into 75 words. At the time when it was it feels a long time ago because there's a lot of flash fiction since, and I'm sure there was a certain amount then, but it felt like I didn't really research other rival sites. I don't think I sort of wanted to just go with it however I wanted it there, but I think probably around the time 100 words and 99 words were the ones being set up. Yeah, I did deliberately think I wanted it to be not like a maximum 75 words. I wanted it to be exact, and I think my reasoning on that was I sort of deliberately wanted that sort of weird challenge of writing, if you see what I mean. Yeah.
I love that. I think that was that's a very attractive part of it for me. And have you had a story on every single day since you launched in 2008?
Yes, apart from when I've forgotten to or typed the date in wrong, basically. But apart from that, yeah, every single day. In the first week or 2 weeks, there was me writing under a pseudonym to try and, again, test the code. So I got there's some really, if you could be bothered to sort of press the back button about 40,000 times, you might find some really, really shoddy pieces of work.
Really interesting work.
Interesting in quotation marks, yeah.
Well, I would only encourage our listeners and anyone listening to get stuck in and have a crack. And do people just write about anything, or do you offer them subjects, or?
They pretty much it's about anything, really. There's a lot of mixtures of genres, and very occasionally I sort of set a little word as a subject, you know, but I sort of then run out of steam and I forget about doing that for ages. So
yeah,
I sort of do that about 2 or 3 times a year at one point randomly. But mainly it's people just write about anything, really. So there's a real difference of tone in all the works. So some of them are little complete stories. Some of them would be like a sort of tonal sketch, I suppose. Sometimes they're obviously the beginning of a novel, or they're a section of a novel. And I'm sort of happy with that aspect. I sort of encouraged that change. So yeah, there's a massive range. I mean, everything has been, virtually in any month, there's going to be loads and loads of topics and styles and genres.
Roughly how many do you receive?
I think it varies quite a lot, really. I suppose probably on average, it's probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 a day, I suppose. But I think I'm likely to sometimes there'll be like 20.
And are there any that have stuck with you for years? There must be some that you've kind of really connected.
Tom
with.
wants you to say his.
No, not mine. God, no.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe 10 years ago, you think, God, yeah, there was that one about whatever.
I suppose they're ephemeral by their nature, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
I think there are some that are really, really striking, and they definitely strike a chord with me. And when I put them on, there's some that really catch hold. People on, say, X or Twitter or whatever, Blue Sky, whatever, they will really take hold of certain stories, really.
Right, yeah.
They will really chime with people. I think there's definitely ones over the years, but I'm not going to be able to think of anything off the top of my head. But I think sometimes it's just really a slant of a way of looking at something. So let's say someone's written from point of view of, I don't know, someone who does road signs, and they've written a sort of a romance via road signs or something, or a real weird slant might come through in a story, and I think those are the ones that kind of stay with me. I think
new genre, roadmance.
I think that could catch on.
Roadman, yeah,
couldn't it?
Yeah.
If you love me, give me a sign, I say. And you did, in a roundabout kind of way. You were giving out lots of subtle signs, but I could read between the double yellow lines. Oh, that's not an umbrella you're putting up. You're actually saying you dig me somewhat. This was for keeps. No U-turns allowed today. Everything was heading white arrow, blue background, one way. Then you stopped me in my tracks. The perfect diversion. An octagonal outlet for my road furniture perversion. You said stop, but still gave me permission. And now here I am, locked up in bloody prison. Apparently, it's considered worthy of jail time. Being caught, making passionate love to a stop sign.
Well, after 18 years, you're obviously still getting a lot of joy from it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it anymore, would you?
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, probably now the challenge is I've been doing it for so long, it's quite hard to sort of stop. It's a bit like doing the lottery or something. You see. To be honest, when it started, I think it was mentioned in a sort of local community newsletter or somewhere in a Brighton group, and it took off for that initial period. And really, it hasn't struggled for submissions. So over the years, it's been lovely seeing the amount of writers that have submitted. And I think there's a lot of writers who've submitted, and it's been a real kind of stepping stone or impetus, and it's just been that little bit to kind of get people going, which is really nice for me to sort of see that aspect. Really.
Definitely.
Well, let's bloody hope so, Richard.
Yeah,
We're doing some of that. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you.
Like we said, everyone needs to get to paragraphplanet.com and write their exactly 75-word story. And get it on there, send it to Richard.
And we'll speak to you in another 18 years, Richard.
Yeah, okay, look forward to that. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Good luck with it.
Cheers, thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye.
I love that, John. There's something so wholesome and nice, isn't there, about someone who's just, it's like a labour of love. It's like he had this idea so long ago.
What are you getting out of it?
Yeah, and it's become his thing, though, isn't it? It's like he owns it.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely. Really, really nice.
It is. Amazing.
I'm not just saying that because he let me on the website with my little story, but he's also got incredibly good taste in flash fiction.
Obviously, you wonder what is that kind of albatross around your neck as well.
It is, yeah. No, you can't stop.
You're just going to have to keep doing that, I'm afraid. People get way too annoyed with you.
Yeah.
You stopped. But what a lovely thing as well. It's a bit like doing this podcast, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a labour of love, but it's incredibly lovely to do. It's a privilege as well as a massive amount of work.
So the only other one out of my 10 that had any even sniff of success was a little 100-word maximum flash fiction that I got longlisted for.
Oh,
it was on a website called Tadpole
that's beautiful.
Press. So it did say they had a lot of entries, and apparently the long list was like the top 24%.
Very good, Tom. Well done.
I thought, well, at least that's something. If you'll indulge me, John,
I certainly will, Tommy.
Share that with the class.
Take it away.
Would you still love me if I was a fish? Swimming in the downy covers, it all seems worth it. Warm to the soul whilst the crisp, fresh autumn morning cuts through the dust-sparkled air, through the thick fogginess of the night before. I dare to fold a curl that isn't really there away from your brow. Would you still love me if I was a fish? I ask. Of course you would. A smiling roll of your eyes and a gentle shake of the head confirms that. You don't even notice the scales slowly creeping over my bruises.
It's very nice, that, Tommy. Very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of ambiguity as well.
Yeah. Quite grown up, isn't it, for me, that?
It's incredibly grown up. And yeah, it's still got a little bit of Tommy humour in there. Very gentle, but nice. It's lovely.
Yeah, I like that. I enjoyed it.
Beautifully put together, that. It's sort of hard to believe it's 100 words, weirdly. Sets up this whole thing, this whole scene. In some ways, I don't want to know the answer, so I don't want to ask the question, but I was just sort of interested. You know, the last line, you don't even notice the scales slowly creeping over my bruises. And just I suppose the metaphor of that, whether the bruises, because my assumption was that the bruises were kind of like mental trauma or something. But then there's another way of reading it, that they are actual bruises. And there's some other kind of, I don't know, my mind was going to domestic violence or something, but it just doesn't have the feel of that at all. So I just thought, yeah, that's quite, I love things where you don't know.
You have to bring something to you. Yeah.
You have to bring something to it. There isn't an answer actually in it. And I you know how much I love stuff like that. So that ticks my boxes too.
Well, I'm not gonna say whether it was.
No, I was
just going to leave that one hanging.
Yeah. Anyway, really lovely.
Yeah.
Like that a lot.
And really good, because that was 2 of my 10 sorted out in 175 words, less than 175 words.
Bobby bonus.
Yeah. So yeah.
Amazing.
What about you, John? What have you got to share?
I thought I would share. I think I mentioned this very briefly that I tried to write. A flash piece while I was away on holiday. I was supposed to be on a cycling holiday, but I'd broken my collarbone.
You did, yeah.
And I ended up writing this stupid bloody thing that nearly killed me. And it's quite difficult to explain why, but
I don't even know how you're going to present this one to the gathered throng of listeners.
I think the only way to do it is to, effectively do it twice. So it's called Tragical, Comical, Comical, Tragical. And I had this idea a while ago. I thought it'd be really fun to do, because, we did that episode on ergodic fiction.
Yeah.
And I love stuff like that. I love sort of the kind of playing with the form and I suppose giving the reader a certain amount of work to do before they've even started. And so I had this idea that I would write a bit of flash fiction that was written in one order, like chronologically, and then you could actually move all the paragraphs and read them in a different order, and it would be a slightly different story. And that was the starting point.
A very different story in this case.
Well, a very different story. Because one is tragical comical and the other is comical tragical, the other way around.
Yeah.
So, so the first version goes like this. Hugh took after his father. Both actors, they caught emotions like others caught colds. When Hugh's mother died suddenly, his father, unable to fathom a world in which she would not be with him, took his own life. A swift fade to black, ushered by the cyanide pill he wore around his neck to remind him of the fickle nature of fate. The result? Hugh, aged 31, sobbed for 4 weeks uninterrupted. Hugh ardent, a shade dramatic, his mother liked to pun. Only ever one sigh away from love or death. So, when the girl who just captivated Hugh in a condensed dream at the Soho leaned towards him, brushing his wrist in the crowded bar, his susceptible heart cracked open. Lena, unlike the angular Hugh, was all soft curves. Beautiful, according to her agent, but would get more roles if only she'd lose weight. Hugh, however, had not been able to look away from Titania, Helena, Hippolyta, Snug for the entire production. Afterwards, blurting, "You performed actual magic tonight," before he could stop himself. At this, Lena laughed creakily and announced, "I am a spirit of no common rate." But Hugh had delivered his line exquisitely, because 4 hours later she was still with him, a little drunk, whispering, "I really do like you, you know." Later, they enacted a powerful, almost kiss, before Lena disappeared like Persephone down the steps of Leicester Square Tube. The following day, still reeling with whiskey, and the knowledge he'd found his true love, out of the blue, Hugh received a phone call from the Wunderkind director Laszlo Vary. "I'm wondering who to cast as Hamlet at the National," he mused. After a pause for dramatic effect, Vary said, "You are going to be performing the lines of the great Danish prince." The loveliest words Hugh had heard for years. Things were looking up. Love, it seemed, had broken and remade his destiny. Hugh arrived at the first read-through jubilant. Scanning the rehearsal space, he noticed a familiar figure. At the back of the room, reading, was the girl from the dream, Lena. He weaved towards her beaming, just as Laszlo Vary crouched down and kissed her passionately. With a clarity that he rarely experienced, he knew what he must do. Hugh realized then he must make the ultimate sacrifice. He must declare his love for Lena right there, in that very moment, most likely fired immediately, never to work in theatre again. Hugh turned to Lena and proclaimed, "I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it." Then, kneeling, continued, "And the only part I wish to play is that of your lover." A moment of reflection before the resolution. The role is yours. And now, to top it off, the gathering cast, not quite understanding what they were witnessing, all stood and applauded enthusiastically.
There we go. So that is all made up of each or oddments of paragraphs and sentences are numbered by the side.
That's right. So there's 23 little paragraphs And they're all sort of numbered out of order.
So the start of that one was 8, then 22, 21, 9, 5, 4.
Exactly.
So is there a way that you can rejig this using the number system, John, to make that thoroughly average story you just read better? Is that what happens? So they read that one and think,
make it turn
that's
into a brilliant
rubbish.
story.
But when you put it in the right order, it's like a little lesson in
And
story
magic
writing.
happens.
Yeah.
Let's see, shall we?
Let's see. It might be just as bad. We don't know. But let's have a listen.
Things were finally looking up. Out of the blue, Hugh received a phone call from the Wunderkind director, Laszlo Vari. I'm wondering who to cast as Hamlet at the National, he mused. A moment of reflection before the resolution. The role is yours. And now, to top it off, when the girl who just captivated Hugh in a condensed dream at the Soho leaned towards him, brushing his wrist in the crowded bar, his susceptible heart cracked open. Lena, unlike the angular Hugh, was all soft curves. Beautiful, according to her agent, but would get more roles if only she'd lose weight. Hugh, however, had not been able to look away from Titania Helena Hippolyta Snug for the entire production, afterwards blurting, "You performed actual magic tonight," before he could stop himself. Hugh ardent, a shade dramatic, his mother liked to pun, only ever one sigh away from love or death. So, with a clarity that he rarely experienced, he knew what he must do. He must declare his love for Lena right there in that very moment. Most likely, Hugh took after his father. Both actors, they caught emotions like others caught colds. When Hugh's mother died suddenly, his father sobbed for 4 weeks, uninterrupted. But Hugh had delivered his line exquisitely because 4 hours later she was still with him, a little drunk, whispering the loveliest words Hugh had heard for years. "I really do like you, you know." Later they enacted a powerful almost kiss before Lena disappeared, like Persephone, down the steps of Leicester Square Tube. The following day, still reeling with whiskey and the knowledge he'd found his true love, Hugh arrived at the first read-through jubilant. Scanning the rehearsal space, he noticed a familiar figure. At the back of the room, reading, was the girl from the dream, Lena. He weaved towards her, beaming, just as Laszlo Vari crouched down and kissed her passionately. Performing the lines of the great Danish prince, Hugh turned to Lena and proclaimed, "I love thee best, oh most best, believe it." Then kneeling continued, "And the only part I wish to play is that of your lover." At this, Lena laughed creakily and announced, "I am a spirit of no common rate." After a pause for dramatic effect, Vari said, "You are going to be fired immediately, never to work in theatre again." Hugh realised then he must make the ultimate sacrifice. Love, it seemed, had broken and remade his destiny. The result? Hugh, aged 31, unable to fathom a world in which she would not be with him, took his own life. A swift fade to black ushered by the cyanide pill he wore around his neck to remind him of the fickle nature of fate. The gathering cast, not quite understanding what they were witnessing, all stood and applauded enthusiastically.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Brilliant.
The
That's,
other version.
What a job you've done on that, by the way. That's a huge amount of mental energy, isn't it, that's gone into that? Like, just in
I mean, it nearly killed me. I'm not going to deny it.
I was just thinking, what if we said for this year's competition, for season 6 competition, it had to be done in that style? I think we'd get like 3 entries.
Yeah, we wouldn't get 3, I don't think. Yeah, no one's stupid enough to do that.
Is there a name for that? Does it exist as a thing?
Do you know what? I don't actually know. I've no idea.
I want to call it Broken Flash.
Broken Flash.
Because it's like you get a vase or something and you drop it on the floor and then rearrange the pieces into something else. Or, I don't know, Lego Flash.
Lego Flash is nice. I like that.
Because you can build it into one thing and then you buy the kit
move
for that.
It around. It was a bit like that because I started off literally cutting up bits of paper and moving them around. Because I couldn't think of another way of doing it.
Do you know what I did think while you were reading that second version of it? Imagine rewriting this as like a little screenplay.
Oh my God, yeah, that's quite nice. Like little clips.
Yeah, but you had 2 made of the same scenes.
But created a different story.
Using the same book.
That is interesting.
I think that's amazing, that. Yeah. They're really, talk about playing with the form, Jesus.
Yeah. So that was my piece. So I sent that to a few like flash fiction competition-y things.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly, I sent it to 1,000 word because it's 500 words altogether, or just under.
Yeah.
And I sent it to some 500 words without the sort of, the reordered version. And then I sent it to 1,000 word ones with both versions, if you like.
Right, okay.
With the numbers next to it the second time round in the right order, which I think is, in a way, is a shame because it was like, that's sort of the point, is that you're doing the work. But in a way, what you don't want to be doing is finding the next number. It's quite difficult to read, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So just to make it easier to read.
But then that's part of the charm of it, isn't it? That you have to uncover it. You have to uncover
Well,
it.
it is, but people are also lazy, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but I don't think you should cater for those people. I think you should be. I think you should be brave and let people that will get something from it.
Well, I did. I
mean,
both.
you go back to that episode we did about ergodic fiction and think about the books that we talked about. If their authors are just going, well, people are lazy, let's dumb this down and make it easier, it would have
true.
destroyed the whole thing. So no, I think you've got to stand by it. And it's not. I mean, your title on it, tragical, comical, comical, tragical, is informative as you can. It kind of spells out what's going on, doesn't it? As soon as you kind of
hopefully
it helps with it's a big clue, if you like.
Thanks, man. I thought you'd like it. I think one of the problems is it's very like as a story, it's very sort of heightened reality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like a beautiful little bit of truth. It's like a sort of supercharged kind of mini moment.
It is, but it's quite Shakespearean in that sense, though, isn't it? So it kind of reflects upon itself.
Well, that's what I was going for. I was going for the sort of theatricalness of it, because it's all about, obviously, actors and theatre.
And people killing themselves about love and stuff is like, I mean, that is as Shakespearean as you get, isn't it?
But I could sort of see why someone might pass over it or be confused by it, actually, because if you're reading a lot of Flash, you could look at that and go, why is that all numbered? I don't really.
And I think that the truth of it as well is doing something in that format and then trying to have a story that stands out in its own right as well is next to impossible, because someone just writing a story without having to flip it all around has a massive advantage in terms of building a story.
Yeah.
Because you've not got any concerns about making that fit back into another thing.
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as you've got that, you're always going to undermine your ability to have a really pointed, perfect story.
Yeah, it's a constraint.
So that's part of the thing. So if someone's looking at it from that point of view, they might go, well, that story's better than that story. And they're completely dismissing the fact that one is also a scrapbook, stick it back, choose your own adventure Flash fiction piece. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of no. I think it's wonderful. I think it's well done.
Well, thanks very much, Tommy.
I mean, it hurts my head just thinking about actually doing it, and I like 10 out of 10 for not quitting halfway through and thinking, well, this is a stupid idea.
I came so close. I think I'd poured so much time into it. It was like, I'm not going to stop now. This is ridiculous.
Well, I actually did quit something that I did.
Oh, really?
I was writing a poem that I'm trying to think now. Oh, that's right. You could only use A as the vowel, as any vowel, no other vowel.
Right. Hang on. Yes. Oh,
just A. That was your only vowel choice. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do we do these things?
And I kind of started, and it kind of then it just it's like, but it doesn't mean anything. It just became so, like I was saying there about the story or the poetry in it just vanished because it was literally just about putting sort of square pegs in square holes, I guess, and not having anything else. But it's good exercise, isn't it? In terms, mind exercise. But yeah, I quit. I just packed it in.
I think there's a big difference between giving yourself some constraints because it makes you more creative, makes you come up with different, responses or different answers to questions. But then if it's too restrictive, it's just going to be bad, isn't it?
Well, interesting you say actually, because that did lead on. I did write another poem that used a reduction in vowel usage, but under my own rules. So that I've entered into a competition that hasn't been announced yet.
Oh, right, okay.
That I really enjoyed doing and really liked, and it was a good, fun thing to do. So without having that first one, I don't think I would have moved into that second one. So that's creativity, isn't it? Of kind of
yeah, good point. No words are wasted.
So are you saying that you've hit your targets? Is that what your postcard targets have now? That's your targets.
I've not just hit them; I've smashed them, Tommy. Absolutely smashed them.
You didn't get miles away from the other ones, though, did you? As well.
Yeah.
They served a purpose.
I'll
Yeah.
let myself off.
Now, obviously, what follows on from that, John, logically,
Mm.
is setting targets for this year.
Yes, that's pretty key. Do you know what I was thinking, Tommy? Because this podcast it's all for our beautiful community of writers.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we should get our listeners to email their goals to us now. And we could do a similar kind of thing that Emily did. And towards the end of the series, saying about 9 months' time.
We email them out, chastising them. We really rip into them later on. That'd be, I'd enjoy that. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
No, we ping back to them.
Oi, dickhead. Have you not even written that yet? I think that'd be good for them.
No,
I think that'd be really good for them.
We send them what their goals were in case they've forgotten them, with some lovely encouraging words and maybe a little bit of chastising.
All right, okay. Yeah, that works too.
So maybe while we're doing this, maybe choose a few goals, listeners, and send them over to failingwriterspodcast@gmail.com. Send us your 9-month writing goals. We'll keep them safe, and then we'll surprise you with them in December. And then we can all see how we got on together. Help us stay on track.
And when we asked for people's goals last year, we got some really interesting ones in, actually. And I think it was quite interesting seeing, obviously, everyone's working on all kinds of different stuff. And it's just interesting seeing what people are pushing themselves to do. And some seem like, wow, that's a massive one. And then others were less so, but very specific. And it's quite interesting seeing what other people
It's a lovely
are challenging themselves to do.
Lovely to see what other people are doing. And most of them are not as ridiculous as my goals as well. Well, let's keep them, because that's important, isn't it? Keep them achievable.
To be fair, yours were achievable. You just didn't.
Just a bit lazy.
You just took your foot off the accelerator.
Got distracted. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But yes, so for now, Tommy, let's hear your goals for the year. What have you got? What have you got for us?
Well, mine is going to be to finish editing / rewriting my kids' book.
Get in.
And get it off to some agents.
Amazing.
I'm going to send it to 4,500 agents. That's
Is that all?
That's what you do. It's just pick a random number and then say it. No, but a lot. I'm going to send it to a lot of agents.
Okay. I'll go with that.
I'm gonna be loving myself with saying that without an actual number.
Yeah, you are.
This time next year, I'm going, well,
10's a lot.
7 is a big number, isn't it? Isn't it?
It's a good shout, Tom. I would advise you do that. Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm also gonna throw in doing another 10 flash poetry, short story things in.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I like having the list on my wall, and I like having a little delve into.
Oh, that's
that.
the trick. Yeah, have it on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, got it on the wall in front of my computer.
Very good.
Not the wall in front of my computer, because then I won't be able to sit at my computer. The wall is actually behind my computer, but facing me, as walls do. That's people didn't need to know that, but when you say something, I need to put that right.
Now they can see how your office works.
Yeah,
now.
it's very much a wall. It's
nice.
a wall situation. So it's got the room's kind of got a wall on each side.
The very wall-based room.
Yeah, it's got a wall, and then it's got like a wall going across the top of the room, but with
sky wall.
Yeah, top wall, and then the bottom wall is where I put my chair.
Thank you for that, Tommy. Well, that sounds great.
Is that okay?
So are you just doing just the one?
Why do you always do this?
Hey, we got to be specific. We did say we have to make our targets quite specific.
Well, don't use words like just or only.
Sorry. No, what I meant was, are you doing one book?
Oh,
or both
are you
books?
It's just the one little book? One book.
Great. And I don't mean just or only. I mean, wow, one book. Amazing.
One whole
Brilliant.
book. Yeah. That's not to say I won't write another 8 or 9 books in the year.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
But that's your goal.
In terms of targets and something achievable to stick to that needs doing, that's where we're at. Yeah.
Perfect, Tommy. I love it.
What about you?
I've got, I haven't written them down. I need to write these down, don't I? Because that's how it works. I want to take the play on tour with Katie. This isn't specifically writing, but it obviously is connected.
Yeah.
We're going to take it to a few places around the UK during the year.
You've
Definitely
already
need to take it to London.
You've booked a couple of them in already, haven't you? So.
We have. We've already got a few dates.
Are you putting stuff on the list that you've already done so you can tick it off? Because I'm not gonna come in all high and mighty, because I do that with a to-do list sometimes. You got a busy day and you think, well, I've already done that. I'll write that down. Then I'll tick it off, cross it out straight away.
No, this is to get more, because we've already booked Buxton Festival, we've booked Alton Festival, and we've got another date in Leeds, but we want to take it to London. That's That's a kind of key one.
Yeah.
And then try and get a spot in Edinburgh as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
For the following year. The other thing is I want to, as mentioned before, I want to rewrite my crime novel, bring it up to date a little bit, get that done. What's my deadline for that? See, realistically, that's not going to happen until probably September, October, but that's when I'm planning to try and get that done by.
Yeah.
And I've also got this other novel that I'm really enjoying writing, which is the sort of love story thing. But that's kind of distracting me. In fact, in the middle of the night, last night, I woke up having solved the big problem of the novel, like the sort of clinching factor I just couldn't think how to resolve. Isn't that weird? That's so weird how that happens. Does that happen to you?
It's just a product of your subconscious mind.
It is, but that's amazing, isn't it?
The big bit of your brain doing the hard work.
It is. It's just like
Yeah.
going at it in the middle of the night while you're fast asleep. I just find that astonishing.
The number of people is that have so you ask people where they have the best ideas, and people will say, while I'm walking the dog, while I'm in the shower,
Yeah.
while I'm driving to work. And those three answers will cover probably about 70 or 80% of people.
Mm.
And because in the busy world that we live in, those are some of the few times where your brain kind of kicks into neutral, and
Yeah.
the connection between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind kind of opens up.
Yeah. You're not forcing anything, are you?
No, but you're in that kind of daydreamy sort of almost area.
Yeah.
That's when the ideas from your subconscious, which is the big, hard-working, massive power plant bit of your brain, can filter stuff through to your everyday, judging what's going on right in front of your eyes bit of your brain.
Yeah.
Which is what we normally operate on,
Yeah.
or we feel like we do. But yeah, so it's just sometimes, so maybe your half awake, half asleep thing was when that channel was open. That was your dog walking, having a bath, having a shower, driving to work moment.
It does often happen to me. Like I will have a wakeful moment in the middle of the night and I'll just start having like ideas one after the other. And they're not all great, obviously.
No, sometimes in the night, because when you're more asleep than awake, your subconscious brain, which is ridiculous and comes up with the most ridiculous stuff, hence, like your dreams are crazy. Yeah, if there's more bias on that, then, and you actually write down what you're thinking, when you think it's the best idea, you think you've like joined together two things that are going to change humanity, don't you? Or you've seen the face of God or whatever. And then in the morning, you're like, what? Parrots on bicycles? What does that mean?
Or it's really mundane, like the Hitchcock waking up in the middle of the night and he remembers writing something down. He looks at the book, his notepad by the bed, and it says, boy meets girl.
Yeah. But that's good. That's brilliant.
It is. It's great.
So, so that's you think that's taking the? But let it take the front seat. Get that one done.
Yeah, it's not it's not a priority for me. But then at the same time, my brain's just wanting to work on it.
Well, I'd say get that one done. And then put it in the drawer to prove and rest and relax.
Yeah,
and then finish your other one.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're just gonna tour the play and then just write a novel.
Write a novel.
Is that it? Have you got any more?
And rewrite another novel.
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying that I'm going to write another novel. I don't have a deadline for that because I know that I'm going to be busy this year generally.
Well, that's like we said at the start. Yeah, you got to be kind to yourself. You got to be realistic and kind, and be willing to move things around a little bit. These are guidance and to get us started and to move things along.
Do you know what I feel? I feel like a writing retreat would probably do the job on the crime novel.
Right, just some like really concentrated,
just focused time. Just get that.
Do you feel
done.
there's a lot to do with that, or does it just feel like there's a lot to do with that?
I think it just feels like there's. I mean, I don't think it'd be vastly different, to be honest. There are a couple of things that just wouldn't work anymore, and would need a good old. Sort of
so it's just pulling some threads out that might upset some other bits. They just need putting right. So it's just a bit of a.
Overall, it wouldn't be too difficult. It's probably a few days of really focused work, but yeah.
Well, like I said, I read it. I really enjoyed it, and there wasn't any glaring weird things in it of like big plot holes or anything like that. So yeah, it is about just retying up threads, isn't it, and changing the outward social environment.
Yeah.
Of it, I guess, isn't it?
So there you go. Look at us, absolutely smashing our targets.
Yeah, we say that. It's bloody April already, isn't it?
Oh God,
Quarter of the year's gone by, and we've. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot to do.
We better crack on.
So yeah, send us your goals.
Yeah,
failingwriterspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear that.
And also remember, we're looking for your hype writer. So a piece of work writing that you've done that you love, hasn't had the attention that it deserves, we can give it that, and we'd love to have a look at it and
really
feature
would.
it on the show.
Yeah.
Send that to us as well. failingwriterspodcast@gmail.com. So I guess the good news for people out there writing, John, is that the Failing Writers podcast is back.
That's the big one. That's what the people have been waiting for.
That is going to oil a lot of writing wheels, isn't it?
I think so. It's got to help, hasn't it?
It has. When you sat in your wall-based environment and you're staring at the screen, having listened to the likes of us can only make you feel better about what you're doing.
Right. Come on, let's crack on. Take it easy, folks.
We'll speak to you next time.
Lovely to be back. See you later.
Hello?
Hello?
Where's everybody gone?